guys, I'm back with my new part of 10 metal bands you haven't heard but should. We've got some really cool stuff from the underground. Hopefully you guys have been keeping up to date. I've made a playlist a while back of all these videos. There's one for all my vlogs and then one for just this series, so if you want to find even more bands to check out, then go ahead. Without further ado, the first record is one I got today in the mail. It's actually looking like it's going to be my top black metal release of the year. It's sort of fighting with Guards Gaster at the minute. But from Mystis Chaos and this Icelandic black metal band, Andavald. I'm not even going to attempt to say the name of the album, but this is their debut album on Mystis Chaos. It's exactly what you want from Icelandic black metal. The LP itself, I'm not going to get it out because it's in all this... in a sleeve, but it's the same kind of purple. It looks great and it sounds even better. It's an intro, an outro, and then 3 songs. It's just over 35 minutes, I think, that kind of time. But it's just a sort of huge waves of kind of like spectral dissonance that you get from Icelandic bands. It's one of the strongest contenders. If you like bands like Sinmara, Early Misthuming, Svartidauri, you know, all those kinds of bands. I'm trying not to spoil because I have another Icelandic band in this video. But yeah, check out Aldermouth. I keep going to say Andavald for some reason. Aldermouth with their debut album that I'm not going to say the name of. And that just reminded me, actually, it is only on vinyl. So if you look for Andavald online, I think it's sold out everywhere. It's only purple vinyl, no CD or tape or digital. But just go on Andavald or Mystis Chaos on Bandcamp and check that out. So hopefully you guys can get one. I don't know if they intend on doing another pressing. I don't know if there's going to be CDs or tapes, but it is what it is. I'm happy I managed to get one. Next up, we have another black metal band, this time from Canada, with Monarch, I think you say this as. Sorry, just let me close this tab because I got a Facebook message. On Sepulchral Productions, it's a sort of mini-album EP thing. There's 3 songs, and I guess you say that, Jusque à la mort, or something. Something like that, I don't know. They're French-Canadian anyway. They're from somewhere like Quebec, I think. Sorry to all my Canadian followers who I probably just really offended, but yeah, Monarch, a great sort of that really bleak style of black metal. I was noticed when I was listening to this that a lot of French bands and French Canadian bands have this similarly sort of depraved sound. Maybe it's the language, but also in how they write guitars, how the drum fills sort of have this kind of like washy effect. But it's absolutely amazing. Monarch aren't exactly new. This isn't their first release or anything, but it is a damn good one, and it's the only one I've got, so that's what I'm showing. Furthermore, I need more Monarch stuff. Next up, on sort of the opposite end of the spectrum, we have Vanek with their second album, Dark Season. This is a great kind of speed thrash release, if you like, with some like kind of new wave of British heavy metal sounds, of course, too, as a lot of those bands do. It's on Shadow Kingdom Records. If you know Midnight, ta-da, the quite often Midnight's touring guitarist is the guitarist from Vanek. So, you know, if you like Midnight, check out Vanek. But I say that they're not that similar, because Vanek aren't really as much on the blackened side. They're more on the sort of focusing on the speed thrash element, the 80s new wave British heavy metal riffs, the kind of galloping drums, the really raucous bass. They do an absolutely great job. I think this is one of the better kind of classic heavy metal albums I've heard in a while. So yeah, check out Vanek. Next up is the second Icelandic black metal release. A band I'm really sad I was going to see, and the tour got cancelled. Supporting Svartidauri. They are Almyrkvi, of course. This is the only full length, I believe. I think they did like a demo or an EP, and then another demo or an EP after this. But this is the full length Umbra on Von Records from Germany. Those guys seem to have a lot of the good Icelandic bands. It's quite different actually to the kind of sound you get with Sinmara or Svartidaldi, of whom they share members with. Because although it still has that sort of atmospheric Icelandic dissonance, there's also like this really kind of cosmic ambient feel, something almost sort of more on the horror side of sci-fi to it. It's just absolutely stunning. So yeah, if you like Icelandic black metal, cosmic black metal, any other kind of silly names for really atmospheric yet dissonant stuff, listen to Almyrkvi, however the hell you say that. Next up we have a release from some good friends. This is a special one as well. This is Heathen Deities, Nottingham Infernal on Death Cult Productions on nice red shell tape. If you see in the inlay, this was recorded live in Nottingham on January the 26th at the Chameleon Arts Cafe. Heathen Deity, of course, were the headliner of that show, but we also played with them. So it's Heathen Deity with Sickly Yanglen, and also with Abduction and Sarkoff. So getting to play with three of my favourite UK black metal bands, and all good friends. That was really neat, and Heathen Deity captured their set. I recall exactly them playing most of these songs. I was sat sorting out some of our merch and putting my guitars in their fly cases, but I was sort of watching them at the same time. So it's in quite a small venue. Anyone local to Nottingham will know that. They played a blistering set. Heathen Deity are definitely one of the better UK black metal bands. They've just got that classic sort of 90s Norwegian, Swedish black metal sound like Monarque or Gorgoroth, where it's just like a complete assault, nothing held back. They do it really well. And they're definitely a great band to catch live. If you can't catch them live, maybe you're not in the UK, I'm not sure if they play internationally, or if you've just not got the chance in the UK, then you can pick up this live recording and hear it. I can assure you personally, this is just as good as they sounded live. It's not a shit live recording, the mix isn't shit. They didn't, and it's not better than the performance. It's not like they sort of redid any of it. This is a perfect representation of how killer they are as a live unit. So check that out. Next up, some Doom stuff. I mean, it's blackened Doom, but I think of this more on the Doom side. From my friends at Morningstar Heathens music group, we have the Voices of Grief album. It's really good, sort of really haunting. There's actually some vibes in the clean singing of Northa, a band featuring Petri Lindroos from before he was in Ensiferum, a band I listened to when I was very young and love to this day. But it's dominantly this sort of like mid-era Woods of Ypres kind of baritone vocal over dreary guitars. Some really nice blackened atmospherics. It's simple, but it combines the two genres really seamlessly. And it's a really solid release. It's probably the one that the least people will know on this list out of them, but that does not mean it's the least good. Definitely check it out. Voices of Grief. I think it's self-titled. Yeah. Next up, a release I believe more of you will know, from Profound Law Records, the new Abyssal album, which I bought off my buddy Steve. If you're watching, hello. We met up because he bought this twice. He was like, dude, I've got this twice. Do you have it? I was like, no. Are you selling it? And he, he was like, yeah, man. So I bought it off him. It's called A Beacon in the Husk. So got amazing artwork. That's quite probably my album cover of the year, actually. Whenever I read Lovecraft stuff, one of the most recurrent things, other than eyes and sort of orifices where they shouldn't be, is this sort of mention of geometry that doesn't make sense and is beyond comprehension. This sort of total lack yet presence of angles. Anyone who reads Lovecraft will know what I mean, and that is definitely represented well here. There is no logic to this geometry, but it's stunning. Anyway, that's enough of me nerding out about sort of cosmic horror literature. The music is some crushingly dissonant, horrifically heavy death metal in the vein of their label mates Hissing, sort of that really dissonant, spectral kind of death metal, but mixed with some horrifically harsh black metal touches, some like cavernous doom things going on. It's just ridiculously good. I honestly can't really floor this album. If you like black death, doom, dissonance, and weird geometry, check out Abyssal because they absolutely fucking killed it. This album is near perfect death metal release. Next up, this isn't new, but on the theme of there being a lot of stuff going on in the UK scene these days, something I'm proud to be a part of, is one of the more classic UK black metal bands. They're more experimental, and that is the Meads of Asphodel. This is a live album called The Mill Hill Sessions. It's really cool live album, really. It doesn't even sort of sound like a live album, it's really well produced, but it's more like a compilation, but it has that sort of raw essence. If you like sort of the more experimental, weird, wacky bands like Masters Hammer, I was going to say Masters Cool, they're another UK band, very different. If you like stuff like Masters Hammer, yeah, that was the right one, from Czech Republic, stuff like that, you'll probably enjoy these guys. They've got some sort of weird, almost bardic speech parts, medieval sounds, as you can probably guess from the art. They're really cool, and a big staple in the history of the UK black metal scene. Next up, from my good trusty friends who I don't actually think I've spoken to other than via email, at Iron Bonehead Productions, the new Valaraukar album. Holy hell, this is stupidly good. Blackened Death is, again, incredibly dissonant. That's sort of a theme. I'm really digging uncomfortable listens, but it's just, I think they're from I can't remember if they're from England or Scotland, but they're definitely from the UK. They're playing with Disaster, Root, Archgoat, Mork, that gig in London in December, which I'm going to try and get down to. This album is just a ridiculously intense 6-track. I had to check that. It's about half an hour or 40 minutes. It's relentless. It's just got this ferocity that lasts throughout. It never falters. It's horrifically atmospheric in sort of a really distorted, bleak, sort of depraved way. So yeah, if you like your black metal on that kind of side of things, check out Valaraukar with, oh, why is this so dark? Demonian Abyssal Visions on Iron Bonehead Productions. And finally, I don't think that one of these videos would be complete these days without a release from Transcending Obscurity. We have Temple Koludra, I assume that's how you say it. Oh, Temple Koludra, sorry, I swapped it. 7 sirens to a lost archetype with this really cool, shiny thing. I like shiny things. So I say Transcending Obscurity. It's an hour long. It's got a really strange aesthetic for a sort of this kind of black metal release, and I appreciate the hell out of the band doing something new. The sound, I thought they were American at first. It turns out they're German. I was incorrect on that. But the sound definitely has some influence of American bands like Judas Iscariot, Lurker of Chalice, but mixed with some sort of more Icelandic avant-garde flares. Again, that sort of weird dissonant Reiki chord kind of stuff, and also some just traditional black metal battery and ambient music, like dark ambient music. Plenty of like horn blowing, stuff like that. It's a really intimidating and foreboding album. It's really sort of overbearing. It's crushingly well produced, and it's just a great job. It's a really unique album. I think it may not be my top black metal release of the year because Andavald just absolutely killed it, as did Guardscaster, as did Departure Chandelier, and a shitload of other bands I'm now going to have to choose between mentally, the ongoing battle. But in terms of how unique it is, how original it is, I think Temple Koludra, yeah, I did do that right, may have made this year's most unique and impressive black metal album, and I really think you guys should listen to it, and that was a good way to close the list. So, as always, thank you for watching. I hope you guys check out these bands. If you know all of them already, excellent. Props to you for, knowing your shit. If you don't, then now's your chance to check them out and be in the know about some of the coolest stuff in the underground. I haven't got much stuff ordered for the next video, but I'm working on it. I don't just buy stuff for the hell of buying it. I may buy a lot of music, as you guys who follow me on Instagram will know, well, sort of in relation to how much money I have. I know people who buy way more than me, but I do try and buy as much as I can of the releases I really enjoy when reviewing or just checking stuff out or whatever. because I want to support the bands. I want it to be in my collection, and I want to be able to show them here. It's win-wins all around. Reviewing's really helped me find shit tons more bands than ever. Good friends as well, webzines and stuff. But, you know, I don't buy every single thing I listen to, whether I like it or not, just to fill these videos out. This is just, for me, like, the best of the best in the underground. So, with that being said, like I said, I've not got so much for the next video yet. I will do, because I will inevitably buy shit tons more. But, sorry, my laptop was about to go out on me. But yeah, I pick quality over quantity any day, especially when on a budget. So, yeah, be patient. And there will be more for you guys to check out soon. As I said, there is a playlist if you want to follow me on Instagram for, what I'm buying, because that might tip you off on who's in the next video. It's natskug_JSK, which is my initials. I'm very creative like that. I think that's everything. Thank you guys for tuning in, and stay metal.